Thank you. Thank you.
Sir.
Good afternoon. What a festive group, right?
Yeah.
Festive, having fun. We got desserts. We got some food. So I'm excited about being with you this afternoon. How many of you have ever had a good coach at some point in your life? How many have ever had a good coach, right? Now, let me ask you this question. That didn't have to be a specific coach. Could have been a mentor. Could have been somebody. But I bet that good coach did three things for you, which is what I'm going to try to do for you today. I bet they had conversations with you may or may not want to have. How many have, right? What does that conversation look like? You got more potential in the tank. You follow me? A good coach will also make you do some things you may or may not want to do, right? But a good coach will help you become something you did not think you could become, okay? Now, a lot of people, how many people see me speaking here before? There's been some of you who seen me before. Some of you get my emails. You read my books, and thank you for that. My daughter is going to private school, so you're helping with that. I appreciate you buying the books. I actually spent a decade of my life as a head women's basketball coach at a place called Riverdale High School. And when I went there, I like to tell people that basketball was so bad when I got there in 1996 that during the tryouts, I threw the ball over to a girl on the wing and I said, kick it down low to the post player. And she caught it, put it down on the floor, and kicked it down there. Now, you don't kick a basketball. Everybody with me? You kick a football, you kick a soccer ball, but you don't kick a basketball. Well, what we were really doing is we were teaching our players a lot of things that they weren't getting at other places. We were teaching every player the 7 habits of highly effective people. We were teaching our players the principles of good to great. We were teaching our players the 5 dysfunctions of teams. We were teaching our players how to think at a very high level. And because of that, we began to win a lot of games. And everybody wanted to know, what are you doing with those kids, right? Because you're producing at such a high level. And so I said, you know what, I'm going to sit down and write a book on it. So I sit down on a beach in Destin, Florida, 25 years old, and I wrote a little book called Changing Lives Through Coaching, because I believe a good coach can change your life. And I remember when that book sold on Amazon, I was ecstatic. I was like, oh my gosh, somebody has spent their hard-earned money on my book, right? And I started jumping up and down. I didn't even have a house at the time. I lived in an apartment. I started jumping up and down. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so awesome. Now I'm a coach, and now I have another revenue source because now somebody's buying my books. And then I looked at who they were shipping my book to. And then I picked up the phone and called my mama. And I said, Mama, thank you for buying a copy of my first book, right? But it's sold. Now here's what's interesting. This was about 06, 07. And I began to get calls to speak at all kinds of places. And I went out and started speaking with adults and with companies. And here was the correlation, is that mamas and daddies would drop their daughters off to me at 14 years old, and they all said the same thing. Coach, my daughter's got a lot of... That's right. Every now and then they said issues. And they were right? Because I have a 4-year-old daughter. I get it. But she just needs something. What do you think they said she needed? Structure, guidance, focus, discipline, accountability. Everybody follow me here? Those were all the things they said that their kids needed. And I said, thank goodness you brought your daughter to us, because we specialize in providing system, structure, process, accountability. Now, fast forward to I write that book, and big companies begin to call me, and they all said the same thing. We got good people, and they all have a lot of what? No issues. Y'all got to pay attention here. They said they got a lot of potential. They just need something. What did they say they needed? Everything that those mamas and daddies said that their kids needed. Structure, guidance, accountability, discipline, process. How many people in the room believe that those are things that are missing from lots of real estate agents' practice? Yes or no? Everybody. So I set out to win a championship. I won a championship. That's why you see this big gaudy ring. It took me 10 years, 80-hour work weeks. I used to work 8 hours a day on Sunday. I would get up and go to church and then go coach my team. And I did everything you could possibly do. We went to the highest level. We were the #1 team. And then I retired at 31 years old. And you know why I retired? Because I was bored. Now I want you to think of your practice today in one of 3 places. It is dynamic. That means your real estate practice right now is on fire. It is dynamic. It is attractive. You are attracting leads and business and opportunity because people want to be around dynamic people. Yes or no? Yes. Or your practice is static. And static is stuck, bored, in a rut, complacent. And that is not attractive to the market. Or your practice is entropic, which means it's disintegrating. So here's what I begin to figure out. I was bored at 31 years old because I'd done everything I could do. And I could either come back and do it again, or I could retire and go coach adults. Well, this was 08, 09 now. And we're going through a major recession. Everybody remember 08, 09? And guess who began to call me? So I got a couple books out. I'm now speaking everywhere. The biggest home builders in the country began to call me. And they said, we don't know. We need to figure out how to keep our people motivated and how to sell these houses. Because we went from selling hundreds and hundreds of houses to just a few houses. And so I began to coach the biggest home builders in the country and learn how to build a home, build a subdivision, how to attract people to houses. And then I began to coach their real estate agents. And then I began to coach some big mortgage companies that were doing the mortgages on these properties. And then I began to coach the title companies that were insuring them. And so over the last really 6 years, I've kind of specialized in coaching people that are in very crowded markets where there are too many people competing for the same space. Does that sound like real estate? Yes or no? Yes. Where there are thousands of people that are trying to win business. Okay? And so think real estate, mortgage, insurance, financial services, and I believe who's coaching you matters. I believe your coach can give you a competitive advantage. How many people believe that? Now I want you to think about that, because who's coaching your kids matters. There was nothing worse in the world than me having to cut a child that was 14 years old who was not prepared to play at our level because of who had coached them from 5 to 14. Now here's the same correlation. A real estate agent that doesn't have a great coach is typically underutilized in their potential. So those players would show up at 14 and I would say, your daughter's not ready to play here. I mean, we are a national powerhouse. And they would say to me, but Coach Burt, my daughter's been playing since she was 5 years old. How is she not ready? Because she had bad coaches. You follow me here? So her potential, she had very little knowledge, very little skill, very little desire, very little confidence, and we could not make up for that curve fast enough for her to play. So only the top players made it. Okay? And so here's what I see. The real estate agents that have coaches earn 3 and 4 times the amount of money than those that don't. When I say 3 and 4 times the amount of money, I'm talking about hundreds of thousands of more dollars. Everybody with me? Maya Angelou said, when we know better, we do better. So over the last 6 years, I've been coaching some of the best real estate agents in the country. I'm talking about agents doing 200 deals a year. Agents making millions and millions of dollars. Agents that have gone, I've coached agents that were doing 35 deals a year for 5 straight years, and now I've got them doing 100 deals a year, 110 deals a year, right? So what I've seen is that I can take a good agent that's doing a couple of deals, we can drastically accelerate them by the systems and process and structures we're going to give to you. Does that make sense to you? And over time, we can elevate your business. How much? Typically, it's up to 43% in a 1-year cycle. So you take what you're currently doing, if I could get you 43% more, would it be valuable to you, right? But there is a process to this. And one of the fundamental flaws I found in the real estate market was most of the real estate coaching is very random. It's very sporadic. And what I mean by that is you go to a class on how to write a contract. Then you go to class on how to follow up. Then you go to class on how to prospect. Then you go to class on how to market yourself. And it's not part of a system. Okay? Over the next year, what I'm going to be giving you is a proven system. And we're going to go to work on 4 big things, okay? And this is very critical. Because if we did nothing but get better at these 4 things, you will make a lot more money. Number 1, we're going to go to work in how you explain your services to people. Then you say, hey, sounds kind of elementary. Have you ever met a person who could really articulate their value? Now think about this. How impressive it is when you meet a person who can explain what it is they really do for people at a very high level. Most agents cannot do that. If I were to pin you down right now, matter of fact, let's just do this exercise. I want you to look to the person beside you and I want you to ask them this question. What do you do? Okay. All right. How many of you, when you got asked that question, got nervous? Because here's what you need to be thinking. There's a lot of very specific things a real estate agent does. What about if you say, I've become the best person in the world at regulating emotion when it comes to buying or selling real estate? Is that valuable, yes or no? What if you said, I can get more money per square foot than any other real estate agent in Nashville? Is that valuable? Yes or no? What if it's, I have become known as the #1 negotiator in my market? I can get 6 to 10% more money than any other agent in my market. Is that valuable, yes or no? See, that's why I'm paying you. I'm not paying you to say I help people buy and sell real estate, find the American dream, do this. I'm paying you for a very special skill set. Specialized. And the more you can become known for that special skill set, the more business you're going to get. Okay? My real estate agent, when he represents me on any of my properties, does 3 things for me. This is very specific. He does regulate my emotion, because when you're dealing with money in houses, you can get emotional. So he tells me, I'm going to regulate your emotion. I'm going to handle that so you don't have to. Sit back and relax. He also gets more eyeballs on my properties than anybody else I've found. And I think he's one of the best negotiators of anybody I can find. So if there are thousands and thousands of agents for me to use, I use him for those 3 reasons. One of the biggest challenges in the real estate market is it's become a commodity. It has become commoditized. And that means the general person does not know why they should choose you over anybody else. Here's what the stats tell us. 67% of people in real estate use the very first person that contacts them. Now, that is both good and bad. Why is it bad? If you're not the first person, and here, what does it really say about people out there? They're just willing to use anybody. But don't never forget this. The more sophisticated the buyers or sellers become, they quit using the first person and they use which one? The best ones. So if you want to represent more sophisticated people, which typically is associated with money, right? Like I look at my own life. In my own life, my very first deal was a $119,000 condo, and guess who I used, Christy? The very first agent that called me. But after that one deal, he never got another deal out of me. Everybody see that? Then I started asking, who's the best agent? Like I buy property in the mountains sometimes or in Florida. I don't go down there and say, just send me anybody. I say who? Who can negotiate better than anybody else? Who's got deeper networks than anybody else in this market? Who can regulate emotion better than anybody else? So if you really want to build your real estate, you got to become known for something. So when I ask you, what do you do? What I'm really asking you is, I know you're a real estate agent, but there's a whole lot more to you than being just a realtor. Like I want to know specifically, what do you do for me? Like how do you do it? Like I never say I'm a coach. I say I take complicated growth and I make it simple. I package and deliver content in a way that gets somebody to move. I help business owners grow their business by as much as 43% in a 1-year cycle. I get large groups of people towards some dominant focus they can't get to on their own. See how much more specific I am than just saying I'm just a coach? So you got to start thinking of yourself as a specialist. And you have a very special skill set. And that skill set is in high demand because you are starting to become known in Nashville for something. Okay? And so what I'm going to coach you on is we got to help you figure that out. Because when I ask you, what do you do? How can you market and position yourself differently if you don't know what makes you unique? Right? 4,000, 6,000, 8,000 agents in a market. There's too many agents competing for the same space. So what you're really doing is building your own little brand and you're becoming known. Another word for known is famous. Right? We live in Nashville and we understand the concept of being famous. Famous just means you're known by a lot of people. More people know you than you know them. So the question for you would be, do you think the agents who are the best known make the most money? Some of y'all are thinking about this. I don't think it's that hard. The people who get the most attention make the most money. Yes or no? Yes. Okay. So we do believe the same things. The agents who get the most attention typically attract the most opportunities. So one of the first problems for a lot of agents is nobody knows you. So there's 1.8 million people in Middle Tennessee. You need every one of those people to know who you are. You need as many people as you can to know who you are, because the more known you are, the more opportunity you get. Everybody with me here? So we can actually raise what I call your person of interest status. When I wrote the book Person of Interest, I was saying, how do you become a person of influence in the market where people are chasing you? Wouldn't that be cool? Instead of you chasing leads and buyers and deals, that people are actually chasing you because you are known for something. We're going to talk about that today. How do you become known? So if I were to ask you right now, what are you famous for? Right? Not infamous, by the way. What are you famous for? And you go, well, I'm really known for this. I'm known because I can get more money than anybody else. I'm known because I do have deeper networks than anybody else. I'm known because I can sell a house faster than anybody else. I'm known because I can take real complicated deals, right, and break them down and make them simple. I'm known for something, okay? So what we're really going to do is try to move you from a defensive posture to an offensive mobility. And what I mean by that is the way the real estate market has been set up for years is really that you go somewhere, you wait on things to happen, and then you chase leads. Does that sound like defense or offense to you? So what if I put you on offense? What would that look like? So I want you to write down two terms we're going to be focusing on today. One is a hit list. And we're not talking mafia style. But a hit list, I want you to put equals new money. New money. Okay? Hit list, new money. The second word I want you to write down is farm club. Farm club represents people that have indicated interest in your services, but you have not closed them. So if we're moving from defense to offense, every single week you need to come into the week with a hit list. That hit list, let me ask you these questions. Could the hit list be past buyers? Yes or no?
Yeah.
All right, let me give you a stat. Less than 9% of people remember their real estate agent's name after the transaction. "98% of agents," this is a National Association of Realtors stat, 98% of agents never call a customer back once they put them in a home. Okay? So when this transaction is over, what does it say about you if I don't even remember your name? You say, well, why is that a big deal, Coach? Why is it a big deal? Here's a big deal. Every real estate transaction should be worth 5.7 referrals over the lifetime of the customer. So take every commission you've gotten. Congratulations on this new deal, by the way. Take that transaction, nice, unbelievable transaction. My first question would be, where did backtrack the genealogy of where that deal started? Did it start over dinner? Did it start because of a referral? Did it start because they saw you? Did it start because, where did it start? Right? Backtrack the genealogy of that. And my business coach would always coach me on this. What's the largest check you've ever cashed? Right? Where did it start? Like, where did it originate? And then he would say this to me, why aren't you going back there and getting some more of those? So I would always say, when I was coaching home builders, here's what he said to me. I said, the people who are paying me the most money right now are big home builders. And he'd say, where did it start? Well, I spoke at a chamber event, and a home builder saw me, and then I entered into contract, and then he got me the biggest home builder in North Carolina. And he would say to me, why aren't you going after the biggest 200 home builders in the country? How do you get in front of those people, right? Well, those builders get together once a quarter, the top 20 builders in the country. And so my coach would say, why are you not in front of those people? If you only got 2 of them, why haven't you picked up the other 18, right? If they're writing you the largest check, why haven't you gone back there and got more of those checks? Everybody see that? So when you take a deal like that, that's what you start asking. Where did it come from? Where did it start? Where did it originate? Because what we're so trained to do is go out and get new deals. And what we're doing is we're selling out the front windshield, and we're losing all the money in the rearview mirror. So the hit list says this: every week, if I'm going to play offense as a real estate agent, I'm coming in looking for new money. And the way I'm looking for new money is I'm calling on, could it be past customers? Yes. Could it be strategic partners? Yes or no? Yes. Could it be a current client that you could sell something else to? Yes or no? Could it be an affiliate partnership with somebody who's got a big network of people? Yes or no? Yes. So I got to get you in the mindset of when I come into the week, I come into the week with a hit list of people. Every week. And I typically have 10. I'm never going to be a coach that tells you to call on 400 people, 600 people, 10 a day. And let me tell you why. I think sometimes it's hard to manage that. And so people don't even do it. So what I tell you to do is every day you're selling real estate. Every day it's a money generating day for you. You need to be calling on at least 3 new people a day. Every day. Can everybody do 3? Yes or no? Yes. There's 3. And so typically if you looked at my calendar, I'm typically calling on 3 people a day. Okay? And I created this planner for that reason. My planner's tied to a selling system. And so what I do when I'm mapping out my day, let's just look at today to see if I practice what I preach, right? So every day I'm typically calling on 3 people. So there's yesterday and today. So when I go into my day, I've time blocked my time. What time I woke up? 5 a.m. Exactly all my appointments for the day. This is where the money is right here. This is my hit list. These are people I'm calling on to see if there's interest between me and them. Some of them are not. Some of them I call on them and there's nothing there, right? But they're people I believe I can help. So I want you to associate the hit list with people you believe you can help. Everybody follow me? I can help those people. They may or may not know it yet, right? Until I got in front of Christy. Christy saw me speak probably 4 or 5 years ago, but I wasn't as advanced as I am today. I didn't have all the systems and structure. She might have said he's a good speaker, but he's not at a level to help us. That make sense? Until I got back in front of her again 5 years later, it was only then that she goes, this guy can help us. You with me? So she may have started on my hit list. She just didn't know it. Okay? So I call on people every day that I think I can help. Typically, I'm not cold calling people. I mean, these are people that I have come across in my past somewhere that I just go, I could help them. I could help them. You follow me here? You know, when I picked up Churchill Mortgage, because I'm the coach of the entire company at Churchill Mortgage, I was asking other COOs of mortgage companies I work with, who do you think I can help with my services? And they all know each other, right? And they said, hey, I think you can help Matt Clark at Churchill. So they introduced me to Matt. I go and get in front of him, explain my services, right? Once he said I'm interested, then he moves to my farm club. Everybody follow me here. So let me play a little game with you here and see this, because this will really get you motivated. I want you to write down right now, in real time, write on your piece of paper, at least 5 names that if I said, you got to give me a hit list right now. You got to give me 5 people you believe you can help right now with your services. I want you to take a second and write those down. I'm going to show you how easy this is. Okay? So just write down 5 people you believe you can help. Now, what if you say to me, man, 5 people, who can I help? Let's put this into context. 7 billion people on planet Earth. Billion. 7 billion people on the planet. Last Monday, USA Today comes out with an article. There are 9 other planets that we believe can support life. Now there's more planets to sell to. Can you believe that? So not only is planet Earth a place you can sell to, now there's 9 other planets that you can sell to. That's a lot of people, right? Yes. So when I go into a week, I just start drawing associations. Right? Like just drawing an association. If I got Churchill, why do I not have Franklin American? Why do I not have all of Regions mortgage originators? Why do I not have this? Why do I not have these? You see what I'm saying? Then I start drawing all these associations and I go, I could help them. Then it start, who do I know? Who do I know at that company? Well, I know that one mortgage originator, but he's got influence. I call him. Then I explain my services and I build rapport with him. Then I start going, who can you introduce me to? I'm on the phone with my customers every day and I'm going, hey, are we servicing you like we should? Are we creating value like we should? Because I believe like gravitates toward like. And association breeds assimilation. And if we're servicing you like we should, I know there's other people you're running around with that we can help. And almost every one of them goes, oh yeah, I got 3 or 4 people for you. You follow me here? So when you're building your hit list, don't think it's complicated. Just say, I'm going to make contact this week, right? I come into the week with about 10. I don't touch all 10 in a day. Like today, I'm speaking most of the day, so I'll text message one. I'll call one. So I want to put it in terms you can digest. So don't feel like I'm going to overwhelm you. I'm just saying, hey, every day that you're selling real estate, you're calling on 3 new people. That represents what? The hit list represents new what? Money. New money. New money. Did everybody find their 5? Yes or no? You know what my next question would be? Why did you put them on your list? Why? What makes you think they fit in the filter? So I have a filter for what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a certain type of person. I'm looking for a person that's got the time, the interest, and the money. I'm looking for a person I think I'd love to work with. I'm looking for a person that's open-minded versus closed-minded. You see what I'm saying? Now I'm looking for a certain person. So I may meet 50, 100, 200 people in a day. I'm not looking for all 200. I'm only looking for 3 or 4. You follow me? And then I say, well, do they fit? I don't know if they fit or not until I have a conversation with them. But most real estate agents are in a defensive position, which means they're not coming into the week with a hit list. They're coming into the week in kind of a defensive posture, and they're waiting on things to happen. Okay, I put a sign in the yard and I wait on something to happen. I do some social media and I wait on something to happen. What I try to get my agents doing is in a forward posture, which means I'm calling on new people every day. There may not be any opportunity there, but I'm working it, right? Now, so here's the second exercise. I want you to quantify how much money is sitting in your farm club right now. That means people who have indicated interest in buying or selling real estate that you have talked to, and I want you to put $1, I want you to guesstimate how much money that would represent in your pocket if you close those people. And there's a reason I'm doing this. Okay, now are you motivated yet? I had an office in Cool Springs for 2 years, and we had a big board on our wall that showed every person that had indicated interest in our coaching services. And when you came to the office on Monday, you look at that big board, it had every name of every lead and the dollar value of the contract. And I came in on a Monday morning and there was $800,000 sitting in my farm club. You think we had something to do that week? How much money is sitting in your farm club right now? How much money is sitting there of people who have indicated interest in using you or your services, or buying or selling, or building or financing, or whatever, that could be in your pocket if you just close those people? So Newton's Law, I didn't pay attention a lot. I went to college for 9 years. I did get 3 degrees. I know you're thinking I'm awful slow, right? 400 hours of college credit, all the way to the PhD level. 400 hours. And I never had this discussion. Michael, what is your true unique ability and who would pay you a lot of money for it? Wouldn't it be valuable, yes or no? Yes. But I remember Newton's Law. Remember Newton's Law? An object at rest will stay at rest unless acted on by an outside force. Here's what the stats tell me about real estate. It takes 7 to 15 touches 80% of the time to convert a prospect to a buyer. Everybody follow me? Now, how many times do you think most real estate agents go? 3, and I heard a maybe. Maybe 3. Now, I look at my own experiences. When I sold my house, my last house, I actually, companies buy leads, as you know, and I actually went online as a person that was interested in my own house to see the follow-up of the real estate team that bought the lead. So I go online, I say I'm interested in this property to see what kind of follow-up would happen. I got one email, and that one email said this: would you like to know more about the subdivision? And I said, no. I want to know more about what? The house. Now, my house was in Rutherford County, and it was listed at $579,000. And I checked the records, and there was only 5 houses listed between $500,000 and $600,000 in Rutherford County. It was one of 5, and that was the follow-up I got. Never got a phone call. Never got a second touch. Nobody ever picked up the phone and said, hey, would you like to know more? Can we show it to you, right? I got one email. The person that represented the buyer on the sale of my house that night went to her real estate firm, and they had 21 unclaimed leads. So 21 people come in on that Saturday. It was Memorial Day weekend, and none of the agents, there were 15 agents in that little boutique firm, none of those agents would claim those leads. So this one woman says, I'm going to call all these leads back. She calls them back on Sunday. One of those people said, I saw this house on Facebook, because my agent used Facebook to market my house. And he did a cool video with music and everything of me walking through the house and explaining it. And this woman who was interested in my house, they weren't even looking to buy a house. The power of one video convinced her to buy the house. They were basically just interested in remodeling their outdoor area, and they liked my outdoor area. So she told her husband, we got to go look at this house. So the agent called him back on Sunday. It was Memorial Day. Can we look at the house on Memorial Day? I said, absolutely. Show it. Right? She comes. They make an asking price above asking. They offered $585 for my house. And here's the deal. She picked up the sale of their house, represented by my house, picked up the sale of their kid's house, all because she did one thing, which is what? Just called a lead back. This is how easy sometimes you can win, because 67% of people do what? Use who? This was an agent in the first 2 years of her real estate business. She was not a sophisticated agent. She just got started, all by just calling people back. So when you hear me talk about the Farm Club this year, here's what I want to encourage you. Right now, there's a number of people that are interested. There's 258 million people online right now as I'm here sitting with you. Half of those people are looking at real estate deals. Although I own a coaching company, I'm constantly buying and selling real estate. I'm building commercial buildings. I'm 1031 exchanging things. I'm involved in a real estate deal every week. You follow me here? So the common person out there in the world is looking at real estate all the time. And when they indicate interest, they go online and look at it, they're raising their hand going, hey, I need somebody to help me here. I need a professional to call me back and coach me through this. Now, you may not get me on the first call because I'm busy, because I'm coaching the Wilson group right now, so I need you to come back at me again, right or wrong. Right. And I got a 4-year-old daughter, I got to get to gymnastics. And I got this I got to do. So what happens is I raise my hand because I'm interested, and I may get one call back they didn't give me. I just keep on going, and I never get another call back. I told you I was interested by indicating interest, right or wrong. Right. So look at it this way. This past week I was in Kansas City coaching bankers that are financial advisors. So they sit in banks and wait on deals to come in through the bank. Here's one lesson I will tell you. Never allow your destiny to be put in the hands of another person. So they were mad because tellers in the bank were not sending them enough leads. So they're sitting there waiting on leads to come from a person that's making $12 an hour, and they were mad at them for not bringing them enough leads. Does that make sense? So on the break, the president of the bank comes to me and he says, Coach, we have a database of 250,000 customers. And we can't get the people in this room to call any of them. And I'm sitting there going, give me the list, right? I will call them people right now, one by one. You've got a database of people who have used your services, yes or no? It may be 3, it may be 10, it may be 1,000, it may be 10,000. The average person is going to do 4 to 7 deals in a lifetime. I bought 4 houses and I'm 40 years old. So what if you represented me on every single house? But the first real estate agent that did the first deal never followed up with me, never got involved in my life. Here's what he would send me, the absorption rate of my subdivision. He'd say, here's the absorption rate of your subdivision. I was like, what? The absorption rate? What does that mean to me? Right? On Halloween, he would send me a pumpkin. I don't want a pumpkin. I want you to pick up the phone and call me. I want you to get involved in my life. You with me here? So how many people in this room think they could pick up money if they did a better job having a hit list every week in a farm club? Yes or no? Yes. How many people will commit to that? It's a Vince Lombardi moment. Don't make me track you down and see if you're doing this. Because here's what I want, and whether it be Karen or Christy or anybody, I would want to walk through the offices of my real estate company and say, who's on your hit list right now? And you say, I got these 5 people I'm working. I would ask you why. What makes you think you can help them? Well, I think they'd fit. I think they got a need. Money changes hands when problems are solved. Everybody with me? The bigger the problem, the more money people pay to solve it. Everybody get it? Which should make selling easier to you because all you're doing is going out looking for problems. And what kind of problems? Well, when I bought my very first place, it was just a small place, and then I grew up and got a real job, and I needed my first little condo, right? Then I outgrew my first little condo, and then I needed my first little house. Then I outgrew that first little house, and then I needed another house, right? Then I built the perfect house for a bachelor, because I was a bachelor, and I built the perfect house, and then I got married. And then I had another problem. My wife one day says, this is a beautiful house, I love it, but it's not built for a family. Now I got to go get another house. See all those problems I had? Money changes hands when problems are solved.
Do you have an agent?
I did have an agent. Yep, I do have an agent now. Thank you for asking, though. I get solicited a lot. You can imagine that. So my point is, here's the deal. Do you understand that you're in real estate, all you're doing is solving problems? Yes or no?
Yes.
Got a house that don't have a big enough bathroom, not made for kids? I got a problem. Who's going to solve this problem for me? And what I mean by solve it is who's going to give me the most money? I coached an agent once in Nashville. You would know who she is if I said her name. And here was her value proposition. I can get more money per square foot on new home construction than any other agent in Nashville. Is that a pretty strong claim? Yes or no? Would that make you attractive to builders? Yes or no? So I said, how do you do it? If that's that's not how she did it, but I like your thinking. But here's what I want to know. What do you really do to get more money per square foot? Well, I host very elaborate open houses. I bring some West Coast to Nashville. We have really cool things. I have high numbers of people that come. I get more eyeballs on the property, and because of that, I sell these things at a higher price point than anybody else. That's how she really did it. She combined socializing with selling real estate, and she brought them to the house. I don't care if she can get how she does it. I just want her to do it. Everybody follow me here? If that's her skill set, that's her skill set. So, but here's the problem. When I ask you, what do you do? And you go, well, I help people buy their house or sell their house. I'm sitting there going, that's it? Because there are a lot of people who do that. I need something very specific. You say there's 3 things I do for my clients. I do this, and I do this. And you are very articulated with it. That means you can really articulate, here's why you're going with me. One of the things we have in our house is we have a rule of 3, which means when we're going to use somebody new that we don't know, we interview 3 people. I travel a lot. My wife does the initial interviews. So I say we're going to use a new security company, call 3 different companies. We're looking for somebody to do this, call 3 different people. You come back and tell me who does the best job articulating their value. And she'll tell me, oh, this one showed up late, low energy, couldn't articulate what they do. They're out. This one showed up early, prepared, walked me through how they would solve our problem. Right? That's who we're looking for. She can tell. And that's what's happening now in real estate. Because I'm going to look at 3 different agents. I remember doing a deal on about $1 million property, and I was unclear about who to use. So I looked at the real estate agent I had been using, but he had not shown a demonstrated capacity to represent deals that big. So I had some doubt. So I go, I really like him. Really like him. Got a lot of loyalty to him. But is he the best person to negotiate this deal? So I asked him, How many $1 million deals have you done? Here's your chance to tell me, if you've only done one in your whole career, can you handle this? Right or wrong? Now, his response to me could have made me feel comfortable. He could have said, look, it's just another zero, coach. I've done 7,000 deals in my lifetime, and although I've only done just a few $1 million deals, let me tell you the 3 things I'm going to do for you, and I may have never interviewed 2 other people. You with me? But my heart was telling me, go with someone who'd shown a demonstrated capacity to do deals that big. Okay? So I interviewed all 3 of them. If you're going to represent me on this deal, tell me why. So the first one said this, the second one said this, the third one said this. And then I made up my mind which one I was going to go with. So sometimes your expert factor can actually override loyalty. And sometimes loyalty can actually override expert. Everybody see that? And I'll show you this throughout the year. There are 9 things that affect a referral. Expert, status, right? Loyalty. There are factors that are overriding things. Okay? And what if you win 4 or 5 of those factors out of the 9? You typically win the deal. And I tell people in my office, the person that has the strongest relationship with the referral source, that also has shown the best demonstrated capacity to get the job done, will always get the deal over somebody who doesn't. Everybody follow me here? So you think there's one factor. Yes?
What were those 2 things again?
The person that has the highest or strongest relationship with the referral partner, whoever's referring the deal, who has also shown the highest degree of demonstrated capacity to do it, typically wins out over anybody else. So I got loyalty, check, and you've got capacity, check. What if you just got loyalty? See, in that particular case, my buddy had the loyalty, but he didn't have the experience, which made me question whether I should use him or not. And I may have said, look, I love you, man. You can handle all my deals, but you can't handle this one until you show me you can handle it, right? Which would give him a chance to fight for the deal. But typically, loyalty and expertise factor are 2 things that really. But what about status? Sometimes I use people because they got big status. Status can be manufactured, right or wrong? Yes. How many of you think some agents have marketed themselves into being great, but they're really bad? Right? And you do a deal with them and you're like, what? You're supposed to be the best agent in Nashville and this is what I get? But here's the problem. You know what that agent loses? This is what they don't get. They lose all the lifetime of the referral. McDonald's does not say, McDonald's used to say serve 2 billion, right? They don't say 2 billion came back. They say they served 2 billion. You follow me? So some of these agents that manufacture star power in a market get a deal, but then somebody uses them and people ask them about it. Would you use them again? What do you think? And people go, no, that was a total train wreck. I would never use them again. See, what I'm interested in is the 5.7 referrals. I'm interested in extracting 6 deals out of every 1 deal. You follow me? Which means I got to be good for every deal I do because I want the lifetime of that referral. Most agents don't think like that. They don't think about the referability. They're so transactional, they're just moving through the experience, okay? Now, so when we're thinking about this, see if you agree with this. And we're about to take a break in just a second. Do you believe that money follows attention? Yes or no?
Yes.
So you believe that the agents who get the most attention typically make the most money? Yes or no?
Yes.
So when I'm evaluating your business, and if I was just looking at each of your businesses individually, one of the first things I may say is you are not getting enough attention, which is another way of saying you're obscure. Now, I'm not saying be infamous. I'm saying, how do you get more? So let me ask you this question. How do agents typically get more attention?
Advertising, social media.
Okay, advertising, social media, what else? Because I see a lot of agents use social media and they actually hurt themselves versus help themselves. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Listen, having something to say is just as valuable as having somebody to say it to. You don't need to crank open at Facebook Live unless you got something to say. Everybody with me? Okay? Because you can actually, your stock can go down fast when you open your mouth. Okay? And I see agents do that all the time. Hey, I went to a social media class. They told me to do Facebook Live, and I look like a bozo out of this property, you know, and they don't even know how to use it. They're doing the floor, and you know what I'm saying? It's like they don't know how to do the video on them, okay? And I'm like, don't touch that until you have something to say. Now, we're going to show you how to say something. I'll give you a framework on how to have a cadence and when you get on there. And if you ever watch me do Facebook Live, the reason I do these is because I can get 2,000, 4,000 views in a matter of minutes. And I can't take 2,000 meetings in a day. There's a direct correlation between me doing Facebook Live and people buying my products and services. So when I do Facebook Lives and get 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 views, those people go right online and buy my books. They sign up for my coaching programs. We have a lot of real estate agents that goes, you know, I've been sitting on the fence with you for 2 years, and I watch your Facebook Live on Sunday night, and you're right, I'm in, right? We may have called them 15 times and they never answered. And that one Facebook Live triggered them to buy. You with me? But you don't need to get on there and destroy your brand. So money does follow attention. How many of you think right now you're not getting enough attention for your business? Be honest. Yeah, and so what? So don't ever think that capital is your problem, like money. A lot of people think my problem's money. Real problem is you're day trading for attention. And you don't have enough of it. So what happens is you're getting very few leads because your buzz meter's not high enough. People are not talking about you. Your referability is low, right? The chatter is low about you, and you really need to learn how to become more famous by driving up your person of interest score. And that comes through circulation, and we'll show you how to do that. Second thing is energy. Okay, let me put it to you this way. There are attractive things that agents do and unattractive things. So I believe to attract people, we must become attractive, right? And that's in the energy we put out. So give me all the unattractive things agents do. Don't return. Here's a better one. Voicemail box is full. Come on.
No, you can reach me quicker if you text.
You can reach me quicker if you text me right now, okay? Or the voicemail box has not been activated. Or, right? Or I called you 2 weeks ago and you didn't call me back. All right, give me some other things agents do that are very unattractive. Because that's one big one. Voicemail full, text my assistant, because I'm too busy being fabulous.
Don't provide
Right?
feedback.
Don't provide feedback, show up late, be negative,
Talk bad about other agents.
talk bad about other agents. These are all things. Now I want you to think about this. Although you get paid a commission, you're getting compensated to do a job. There is an exchange of value. You are exchanging your skill set for my money. Everybody with me here? There's an exchange. That's how sales work. Money changes hands when problems are solved. So I think about all the things I hear agents say. Well, comps don't support it. We've not got enough traffic. For some reason, it's not selling. Listen, I'm not paying you to tell me all those things. I'm paying you to tell me what you're going to do to sell this property, right or wrong. Now, you can be honest with me. I want you to be honest with me. I need you to be more of an expert. That means I need you to take more control of this deal. The reason I came to you, you're supposed to be an expert. So I'm selling 2 properties right now that I'm 1031 exchanging into some bigger properties. And I need my agent to go, you need to sit on this for 2 more months because I can get you more money. Right? I need him to tell me, are you ready to do the 1031 exchange? Because we only have 6 months to do it. Okay? I need him to start coaching me. I told him I got a problem. I need to sell these properties. I need him to go, this is the best way we're going to sell them. I don't need him to go, okay, let's go sell them. I need him to be an expert. I need him to coach me through this, okay? So that's called the challenger. And the top salespeople are challengers versus relationship builders. Okay? So if you're a big-time relationship builder, you want to be liked. Which means many times you put the consumer in the driver's seat of this deal. If you come to me for coaching, I don't say, well, what do you think we should do, Renee? What do you think you should do? Renee comes to me and I said, Renee, there's 4 things you're not doing. If you did these 4 things, you're going to pick up 3 more deals a month. That's 36 more deals a year. Why did she come to me to begin with? Because she thought I was a expert. Does she want me to tell the truth, or does she want me to tell her what she wants to hear? Right? So I see too many agents supplicate. And supplicate means you put yourself in an inferior position to the buyer or seller because you think they got the money. Money's a commodity. We can get it anywhere. Everybody with me? What's not a commodity is you. So I need you to be an expert here, right? So what's unattractive is you just kind of float around and you don't tell me what to do. Like, I'm coming to you because I need you to tell me what to do. I need you to coach me through this, okay? So when I go back to this concept of energy can't be created, it can only be transferred. And what I don't need is I get enough low energy in the world, I don't need low energy from my agent too. I need good energy. We're going to sell this thing. Here's our plan to get more property. Money also follows circulation, activity, and money follows calculated activity. So we got 2 things, and we're going to take a break on this one. So coming into tomorrow, we're going to have 2 categories. What are they? Hit list, and the hit list represents what? Money. New money. Don't you love the smell of new money? Who's got your money? We're also going to come into tomorrow with what? Farm Club represents what? Thank you. Did you read the book before you came? I love it. How many touches are we going to go with these people? Now, we're going to get into that on the second session because people say, well, you want me to stalk these people? No. Here's what I say. I'm going to be professional with you, but not pushy. Is that okay? Professionals follow up. Yes or no? Yes. A lot of people thank me for how we follow up. You can ask Christy how my company follows up. We take follow-up very serious. Right? We're going to follow up with you in a professional way with every means necessary. Email, text message, video. Once you indicate that you're interested, we're going to be professional but not pushy. Everybody with me? You told us that we could help you, and we're going to help you. We're going to follow up you so well, you're going to want your company to follow up the way we follow up. Okay? You should be so good at your job as a real estate agent that when I get done, I learn things from you to take to my business. And here's how you know when you're really good. You pay good money to your competitors to learn how they're kicking your butt. Right or wrong? You know where I learned that? I was sitting in a guy's workshop in Chicago paying $1,500 to be there. He was one of my competitors. You know what he said? Become so good that your competitors will pay money to figure out how you're kicking their butt. And I was sitting in his workshop paying him when I did it. I was like, dang. He got me again, right? Right or wrong? But you should be so good through a real estate transaction that when it's over, that other agent goes, what? Where did you come from? Like, it was amazing dealing with you. Our company needs to be doing what you're doing. Like, I would pay money to come see you do that because that's how good you were at doing it, right? So I work with a real estate agent doing 200 transactions in Clemson, South Carolina. Anybody been to Clemson, South Carolina? Yes. Yeah, it's a town of 7,000 people. Seneca is a little town right beside Clemson. 7,000 people. This guy was doing 200 transactions a year in a town of 7,000. And I worked with him for years. 43 years old. He came to Nashville one night with a group of other real estate agents. They invited me to go on the bus. I think I paid for the bus for them to go so I could get around the group. And I rode down to Nashville and we sat beside each other at Tootsie's Orchid Lounge and we talked and he said, you know what, I'm bored. I'm kicking everybody's butt. Success has become numb to me. He said, I'd like to hire you to come to Clemson once a month for the next year to reinvigorate me. And I said, man, you're already doing 150, 170 deals a year. He said, yeah, but you could help me get to 200. And so every month, I went to Clemson, South Carolina and worked with him. Let me tell you what I noticed about him. Every day he got dressed up, every single day. He wore a suit every day in Clemson. In Seneca, little bitty town. He had his initials on his, right? And he said, man, there's something so cool I want to show you, Coach. Because he had his name on the inside of his jacket. Okay? And I said, man, this guy is such a professional. He shows up every morning, 7:45. He's in his office at 8. He's on the phone from 9 to 11 every day, prospecting, right? In the afternoon, he's solving his customers' problems. He's out there speaking at events in his local market. I'm like, this is one of the most professional real estate guys I've ever seen. And it explained to me why he was doing 170 deals a year. You with me? He saw himself as a professional. You don't have to wear a suit every day to be a professional, but the way he attacked the day was so inspiring for me because he said, this is what real estate professionalism looks like. I'm not just trying real estate, getting into real estate. I am going to be one of the best agents in the country, right? And I just so admired his drive and his persistence. And so when you work with a guy like that and see that level of professionalism, it's like, man, this guy's good, right? And that's why he makes $1 million a year. Because he brings that level. Too many agents don't see themselves as professionals. And you got to first go there in your mind before you go there in the body. You got to see yourself as priceless first before other people see you as priceless, okay? So I really want to instill that in you, is that level of professionalism, because you got it in you, okay? So good first session. Y'all agree? Yes. You've been very coachable. Let's take a break, okay? Thank you. Great first session. Yes. Love your energy. I love coaching people that are hungry, right? And if you are hungry, we can really do something special with you. And so I just want to introduce some people to you because they're going to be with you throughout the year. I have a world-class team. And what I have found is you have a unique ability. When you surround yourself with other people who have unique abilities, you multiply. Everybody follow me here. And so part of building a team is finding your voice and then kind of helping other people find their voice, okay? And so throughout the course of this year, you're going to be experiencing different interactions with my team, okay? And so up here with me is Takesha Bromell, and Takesha is my Director of Client Engagement. And here's the philosophy. I believe in customer engagement, not customer service. Yeah, customer obsession, that's right. Okay, that's exactly right. Okay, thank you for reminding me. Because when you fall in love with your client's success more than you love your own success, you're going to be really good, right or wrong? When you fall in love with the people you serve, those are the people that allow you to live the life you live, to drive the cars you have, to live in the houses you live in, to put your kids through school, whatever. So we love our customers. And Takesha is in charge of the engagement of us to you. Because there's a question I ask. It's not what can we do better for you. That's the wrong question. The question is how can we do it so well that you run and tell other people? See the difference? Customer service, customer obsession. And so Takesha will be working with you throughout the year to keep you on schedule. Make sure you're at your classes. As part of our agreement, you also get access to our biggest coaching program called Monster Producer. Is that right? Well, it's all right. We're going to let you come anyway, okay? All right. So here's the deal. We teach a lot of stuff every month. And what I mean by that is every single month I'm doing courses and different things. We're doing a course in July on scripts, real estate scripts. And there's a lot of things that we're going to give you access to. Listen, you'll get coached so much, it will never be a lack of engagement from us to you. Everybody with me here? Is we're going to get in the boat with you and we're going to help you be successful. So Takesha's in charge of that. You got Bill Maddox over here. We call him Dr. Bill. It's not really a doctor, but we call him Dr. Bill because one of my customers said, "What's up with Dr. Bill?" Dr. Bill. So we call him Dr. Bill. He has sold millions of dollars of real estate, bought and sold. He's owned different companies. He was in the mortgage business and very successful. And I brought him from Knoxville, Ohio, back to Tennessee to work with me. He is unbelievable with selling. He's in charge of all of my sales of my company. Great with scripts, great with overcoming objection, great with body language and understanding people. So he's going to be a great resource for you, okay? So if you want to run something by him, he's a great guy to do it with, okay? And sometimes you just want to play pitch and catch. Hey, something I'm doing is not working. Can I give you my pitch? Can I share my explanation of services, okay? So he's going to be a great resource. He's also great at deconstructing a lot of the ideas I give you and breaking them down. So where he could say, this is how I would use this specifically in your business, okay? So Dr. Bill Maddox is there. Then we got Eric White, who just joined my team, formerly the Director of Operations for the University of Ole Miss. So you're probably familiar with those Ole Miss Rebels, and I got him from Ole Miss. So he's worked with very, very big-time leaders, big-time coaches in the SEC. He's been the right-hand man of those people. He's our Director of Special Projects. And let me tell you what that means. I was losing opportunity every day. That means I was going out in the world, and there were opportunities for us to do things that we couldn't get to. You know what I'm talking about? And I said, what if I had one guy that did nothing but help us get to all of that lost opportunity? On his first day, we picked up 6 new opportunities. And it was from you stopping and saying, hey, we could do this. I want to introduce you to so-and-so. Let's do an event together. And we were moving so fast that we wouldn't catch that. I'd be like, that's a good idea. You know, call my office, we'll call you. And then what happens, we'd lose that. And on day 1, there were 6 new people we got to that we would not have gotten to. Multiply that in a week, 36 more opportunities a week. So I will come in the office and say, there's 3 opportunities we're not getting in Nashville. Do all the work, lay all the foundation, figure out how we can get to those people, and then we partner with people that way. Does that make sense? Also, when you hear me talk about my top 25, those are 25 deep and meaningful relationships that I believe we can get a minimum of 3 referrals out of. We want to work that top 25. So Eric is now extracting and working with our 25 biggest customers to spend time with them, love on them more, and give them a higher level of service. Everybody with me here? And because I felt like we were losing a lot of opportunity in our top 25. So I'm trying to attack gaps. So these people will be working with you. You do have in an email, and we'll get it to you, their phone numbers, email addresses, okay? So if you ever need anybody, if you ever need to get to me, and I'm out there in the world because I travel a lot, you get to Eric White, and Eric White will get you an answer from me. You follow me? So if you need something fast, Sometimes people call and say, Coach, I just lost my swag. You know, can you help me with my swag? And I'm like, here's 2 things I think you need to do. And they say, all I need to do is hear from you, right? And I give it to them. So if you need anything from us, what I don't want you to do is be disengaged or disgruntled and not tell us. Just stay communicating with us constantly. You need something from us, our team will service it. And if we don't service it right, let us know and we will correct it. Everybody follow me here? So I believe in attacking things fast. So these guys will be working with. So thank you for that, okay? All right, let's talk about some takeaways. Christy, what was the biggest thing that you heard in the first session that you think we need to take action on?
I'm going to be professional and not pushy.
There you go. If you say that to people, isn't that cool? Is it okay if I be professional with you, but I'm not going to be pushy with you, right? What you're doing is getting permission. I believe that we lose a lot of opportunity because of the follow-up. Okay? If you study the laws of attraction, I can be attracted to something in the morning and completely forgot about it by the afternoon. You with me? So I want you to think of you pitching me your services. And you and I have a great meeting. And I think you're the bomb, right? I'm thinking about my daughter because my 4-year-old now saying that. That's the bomb, Daddy, right? I'm like, who did you hear to say that, right? So let's say Jenny and I meet and she pitches me her services, and we got a lot of business chemistry. I think she's good. I'm interested. But then here's what happens. I get out of that meeting, go to another meeting. And I meet you and you're cool, right? And you're selling something totally different. Then I leave your meeting and I go over here and meet with you on something else. Then I meet with you. By the end of the day, I forgot about Jenny. Not because she wasn't a bomb, but because I had a lot of stuff going on in a day, right? Well, it's her job, in my opinion, to follow up with me, to pull me back to the original attraction to her. Like when I was sitting with you, I'm in. But I left you. And now I'm over here attracted to something else. So we're going to teach you how to follow up with 7 great touches to constantly pull people back. Because what she's really fighting for is my attention. You with me? When I look at properties, I like it, then I don't like it. Something else got my attention. I like it, then right? I like it, then I have a conversation with somebody and they talk me out of buying it. So for you, statistics tell me people, when they make a buying decision, talk to 5.4 people. That means when I want to buy something, I go, you talk about it, then I talk about it with you, then I talk about it with you. Any of you could have talked me out of it, right? So your job is to constantly keep me engaged and cut out that noise. Because there's a lot of noise in the world, okay? So we just say to people, is it okay if we be professional with you but not pushy? We're not going to be pushy or super aggressive. We're going to be professional. And I think you'll appreciate that, right? A lot of people thank us for following up with them. They're like, thank you for following up with me. I am interested in this. I just needed some clarity. Okay? So just remember, your 7 touches have got to be really good. And we'll get into how you touch people. We use video, text message, Facebook. We use everything. A big thing we're doing now is video. So we do a lot of, I'll cut videos. We store those videos. And so when you're interested in our services, my team can go to that storehouse of videos and come back to you with a 2-minute video of me. What we're trying to do is rekindle that attraction. Does that make sense? And so if you say, man, I'm really struggling with follow-up, Bill may hit you with my $1 million follow-up video. And if I keep adding enough value to you, you're going to go, man, this guy's, he can help me, right? So we're using a ton of video right now, and I think agents could be doing this too. Hey, you looked at the property, you loved it, I got you the price points you want and the subdivision you want, right? I brought it to you on a silver platter, man, let's go. What's stopping you from making a decision? Have you seen enough to make a decision? Okay, so that follow-up is really critical. The real missing structure is agents are only going 2 touches. So you had me and you lost me because you're not staying in there with me enough, right? Okay, so that's a good takeaway. Give me another takeaway we're going to go back and do from our first session. Hit list, which means people we can help. Yeah, people we can call on. So you got to get in an offensive posture, which means there are people I can help with my services that don't know it because they haven't called on me. I remember a lawyer I used was a state senator. At that time, he was the youngest state senator in Tennessee. And we went to high school together. I loved him. He was professional. He's now the mayor of Jackson. And he called me one night and says, I'm going to take you to dinner. Okay? And when you go anywhere with a state senator, they always get preferential treatment. So I get to, nice restaurant, steakhouse, maybe Jimmy Kelly's or something. And I say, he said, just tell him you're with the senator, right? And so I get there, I'm saying I'm with the senator. And he says, okay, we got a private room for you over here. And I go in there. Here's the first question out of his mouth. He said, I know you do deals. I know you use lawyers. Why don't you use me? We've been friends forever. right? And you know what I said? Because you never asked me. I said, from now on, the next deal I do, you got it. All you had to do was ask me. See that? See how easy that was? I'd forgotten about him. He moved to Jackson, Tennessee. I didn't see him. All he had to do was be in my face for a minute, and then he got my business. Sometimes we need to think like that as agents. Hey, why are you not using me? Is there something I'm putting off? Some of you are stuck in the friend zone. Now, here's what I'm saying. I like you. I'll have lunch with you. I'll talk to you. But I'm not doing my deals with you. Right? And there's a reason. There's a reason. Something you're doing is not telling me that you're a professional at something. There's some hesitation I have. Right? Yes?
I was just going to ask you, along the, I don't want to throw you off the horse, but along the friends line, when you've had people that will say to you, well, you know, we're friends and we like to keep our business separate from personal relationships. We know you would do a great job, we know you'd get the job done, but we don't want to take any kind of chance on our friendship.
Messing our friendship up. Now, so how do you feel about that? Do you think it's an excuse? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's an excuse. In some instances. Here's what I know. My best friends pay me to coach them. Like my college roommate pays me to coach him. He knows everything about me. You with me? Everything. We were college roommates. Okay? So I tell people, even though he's one of my closest friends, he still values my expertise. And I value his. So he's a big mortgage lender, does about $85 million a year. And I say, look, I'm going to use you. You're going to get full commission off me. I'm not going to ask you to discount it. Right? One of my other best friends uses me and pays me. So I still separate out. They still value my expertise enough to pay me. And that's really odd when your best friends are paying you to coach them, when they can just come over your house and have dinner with you. You follow me here? So you I create a separation that I have a skill set and they have a skill set. And that skill set is valuable, so I'm going to charge money for it. So I think that's somewhat of an excuse.
Yeah.
Yes?
So was there ever a time where you were willing to compromise your value, or were you undervalued yourself to get started? And
Yes.
I think that's like a challenge that we all deal with.
Absolutely.
Like, somebody's got to give me that first shot.
Absolutely. And there have been many times in my career before I got to where I am today, in the first 3 years of my business, that yes, I would go anywhere, anytime, do anything. I mean, I remember traveling to Hole-in-Wall, Tennessee. There's a real place. And I went speaking at a leadership conference for $500. And I remember getting there, and it was 2 7-year-olds and a 9-year-old. And they were at a horse riding leadership conference. And I was their coach. And I didn't have any kids at the time. I'm like, what am I going to talk about to these kids? So I pulled out my book and went to coaching. And they paid me the $500. So yes.
But where does that stop?
So where it stops is you begin to create more value, and you begin to say, you know what? Here's what I heard T.D. Jakes say once. Quality never goes on sale. Quality never goes on sale. Only the cheap stuff goes on sale. Right or wrong? But as you begin to show a demonstrated capacity to produce, then you begin to say, I'm not doing that for that. I'm not discounting this. I'm not showing houses at 12:30 at night on Saturday night. I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm not showing you 15 houses. I'm a professional and you came to me. So a lot of it has to do with what we project to the market. But you'll know when it's like, okay, I don't need to be doing that anymore. Okay, but that's a great question. Listen, early on in your career, you got to do whatever it takes to get a deal. I mean, you know.
One more objection that probably everybody in this room feels right now is that a lot of my friends are realtors.
Yeah.
And we have the same friends.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to step on your toes.
Yeah.
I don't want you to step on my toes, but I still want to get that deal.
Yeah. Depends on how much killer instinct you have. Here's what I would tell you. I go back to my theory of who has the strongest relationship and who's shown the highest capacity to do the job. That's who's going to get the deal. And let me tell you this. The bigger you get, the more toes are going to be stepped on. Everybody with me? There's no way to grow your business without offending someone along the way. You only not offend people when you're playing at very low levels. There's nobody to be offended by anything. When you really start growing your business and your name becomes bigger, somebody's going to get offended. And that's just the cost of doing business at some level. Everybody with me? So I agree with you. Got good friends, but I think it comes down to differentiated skill sets too. You can do something they can't do. Right? I got good friends, and there's some things I can do that they can't do, and they can do things I can't do. So I think that's just the cost of doing business. We live in the South, and there's a couple things I've noticed about coaching people in the South, because I do coach people in Jersey every month. I went to New Jersey once a month. I go to Minnesota once a month. I go different places in the country, and it's different cultures. When I go to Jersey, it's tough. Like they wake up pissed off. You understand what I'm saying? Like it's like, look, we'll run over somebody. I had to get tougher when I was coaching in Jersey because I'm from the South, and it's like, you know, we want to be liked and nice, and up there, man, it's like, look, let's go. There ain't no time for this stuff. All this rapport building, let's get down to business, right? So then I go to Minnesota, and they have what's called Minnesota nice, which is where they say nice things to your face, but behind your back they say something else. And so they told me all this stuff. So here's what I would tell you. Number one, if you're an expert, you need to, it's called the challenger. You need to challenge people's assumptions a little bit more. The relationship builder gets run over a lot in real estate. All the top producers I coach are challengers. And that means they will push back on fluff. So when people give them, you know, low-level objection, low-level excuses, a big-time real estate agent will call them on that and go, come on. That's the excuse, right? Like to your friends, what I would say is, I get that we're friends, but I'm also professional, right? I mean, I think that's an excuse why you're not using me.
Well, and I said that in those pretty much the same words.
Yeah.
And this is somebody who has sent me tons of referrals.
Okay.
And it was just so bizarre that this situation happened. And she said, well, my husband and I decided, because he knew somebody and I knew somebody,
Yeah.
that they were just going to go with somebody they didn't know. And I said, well, why wouldn't you want somebody that you know is going to have your best interest at heart and really fight for you? And
Well, and I would say this, if you trust me enough to send me the referrals, why don't you trust me enough to do deals with you?
right.
But you are getting referrals, so that's a good thing. And as long as you're getting that, I'd be somewhat okay with that. Okay? All right, so let's keep moving. We got you about 15 more minutes, and then we're going to get you out of here, okay? Now, you heard me say earlier that money changes hands when problems are solved, right? So you can solve small problems and make small money, or you can solve big problems and make big money. So I put these into two categories. I want you to write this down. They are bluegills. Yes. You can fish for bluegills in Percy Priest Lake, or you can fish for blue marlins in the Gulf of Mexico. Now, the reason I tell you that is because when I look at my hit list in my planner, I ask myself this question: is that a bluegill or a blue marlin? Sometimes bluegills lead me to blue marlins. But I'm looking at, if I'm going to target people, why not target people that operate at higher levels? Everybody with me here? So my hit list is made up of blue marlins. So what I'm saying is, I want to go out and solve bigger problems for people who will pay me more money to solve them. Okay? So I'm going to ask you this question. I want you to write this down. What's the largest commission check you've ever cashed? Okay? I want you to write it down. Because this was your blue marlin. What's the largest check you've ever cashed? Can you go back and get more? And why haven't you gone back to get more? Right? You're going to hear me talk about the difference between high value activity and low value activity. High value activity is where you wake up and do specific activities that generate money toward your goals. So let's say you tell me you want to do 36 deals this year. You need to do how many a month? How many a quarter? 12. So what can I do today to hit my 3 for this month? That's called high value activity. Is high value activity calling on new people that you could potentially represent? Yes or no? Yes. Anything that generates new money is high value activity. Low value activity are activities that you engage with during the day that do not produce revenue. Goofing off, playing on Facebook, sleeping in, talking around the office. These are all low value activities. I try to get my agents doing 3 to 5 HVAs a day. 5 days a week. They're doing a minimum of 15 a week. They're doing 60 a month. They're doing 720 things per year. They will grow their business if they'll just commit to this part. You do 720 things a year, 60 a month, highest value of your time. Now, how many of you are really good face-to-face? And you get business when you get face-to-face, right? And that's one of your best strategies, right? So you know what I'm going to ask you as your coach, don't you? Pull out your calendar and show me how many face-to-face meetings you had this week. And I'll ask people, are you good face-to-face? Oh, yeah. Do you close deals when you get face-to-face and articulate? Absolutely. How many face-to-face did you have this week? And they'll go, 1. So you're telling me your best strategy is face-to-face and you took 1 face-to-face meeting this week. The rest of your time is spent on the phone and emails. Is that right? My best strategy is this right here. Speaking, coaching, being in front of people. I can do it on Facebook. I can do it in front of live people, whatever. If I told you that's my best strategy for getting customers, would you tell me to sit behind my desk and email people all day long? Yes or no? You would say, marry the highest use of your time with your best strategy, right? That's high value. So when you think about building your business, one of the things I would tell you is I got to marry my time with the highest use of that time. Okay? I got a financial advisor that takes 25 face-to-face a week. He makes $600,000 a year, and he does 25 face-to-face a week. He does not count them unless they're 1 hour in length. But he loves it. He gets out on the road, meets, who's he meeting with? Current customers, prospects, past clients. And he doesn't always get a sale, but it's the sheer volume of seeing people face to face. They say, hey, call this person, right? That's his deal, 25 face to face. Now, I heard of an agent once that was using the ninja selling system. Obviously, Larry Kendall is the ninja selling system. You're going to see a lot of similarity between me and all the selling systems, okay? But Larry Kendall teaches the ninja and its movement and circulation, but one of their agents were not using the ninja system. But he was producing a lot of deals. So they said, why are you not using the system, but you're producing a lot of deals? And he said, well, every time the Denver Broncos play, I have a big party. We have 100 people at that party. We all get together and watch the Denver Broncos play, and all of those people use me to do their real estate deals. And then when the Colorado Buffaloes play, we have another big party with 100 different people, and all of those people use me to do their real estate deals. And that was his #1 customer acquisition strategy. So if you're a party animal, there's hope for you, okay? So if you like hosting events, listen, here's the truth. If you like hosting events, why are you not hosting events? Like I do things, I'll tell my wife a lot of times I'm having 6 people come over, 6 couples, or 6 customers on Tuesday night. We're going to sit out by the pool, we're going to talk business. If that's one of your best strategies, then you need to be doing that, right? You just got to align what you're good at with what you need to be doing. If you're introverted and you don't like doing those things, introvert means I kind of invert in all of my energy. Extrovert means I push out. What if I told you I'm introverted in certain scenarios? I remember my wife and I went to the American Heart Association. We donated money. We went to the big ball, right? We didn't know one person. My natural tendency is to sit right beside her and us sit over there and support the cause. But here's what I know. I need to get out and meet people. So I want to be introverted, but I know I got to go meet some people and talk to some folks and say hi to folks and engage in conversation. Very uncomfortable, but it's just something I got to do, right? If you're going to be in sales, that's something you got to do, okay? So you can actually be introverted at certain times and extroverted at other times, okay? Yes?
When you're sitting by the pool or when you're inviting people over to watch the game,
Yeah.
do you talk business?
Absolutely. It just comes up. And it's relaxed, though. And I love those settings. That's why I'm doing a big event in Seaside in the fall. Because I love Seaside. I love partnering with people who want to sit out by the pool. We'll have times for coaching, and then we'll sit out by the pool. And listen, all the business is going to happen out there. Or it's going to happen at dinner. 83% of deals happen outside the office, by the way. Circulate. Move. Don't be still, right? Okay? All right, now, so when we're looking at this, there's 2 more things I want to show you. One is this. Part of driving up your status, how many people believe status sales? Yeah, status sales. Well, what we have to do with you is drive up your status in the market. And the way we drive up your status in the market is we have to become known for something. Famous means known, renowned, and celebrated. Okay? So I ask agents all of the time, What are you famous for? Like, what are you becoming known for in Nashville? Is it your results? Is it your networks? Is it your personality? Is it your talent? Is it your negotiating skills? What are you known for? And they'll be like, well, I don't know. I don't really have anything. You need to be, think of all the agents, your top agents right now you know. What are they known for? Think about this. Did you say not returning phone calls? We don't want you to become known for that. I bet if I said the top agents that you know, they all have a niche. Some of them are the best at staging property. Some of them are the best at negotiating. Some of them have the highest visibility because they're on every board in town. Some of them have the best team. Some of them have, you see what I'm saying? Like you could say, oh, that one, that's what they're known for. That one, that's what they're known for. That one, that's what they're known for, right? Well, when you're not known for anything, you're a commodity. And that really means that the market can't tell, why should I use you? You're not really known or famous for something. So I want you to write down, what do you think you're known for right now? Or what do you want to be known for? If you're not famous yet, we're going to make you famous. Could you become known for getting some kind of results for people? Yeah, your reputation, right? Your reputation is, hey, call them because they're better than anybody else at this. Like when I want to sell a house faster than anybody else, there's one or two agents I think of. And I'm like, man, that is a machine. They can sell it faster than anybody. So people come to me and say, I got to sell this house real fast. Who do I need to go to? This person right here. Some people say, I don't want it to be a stressful situation. Okay, I got the perfect agent for you. This person has a lot of fun during the deal. You're going to really enjoy it, right? You're going to become friends. You're going to go to CMA Festival together. You're going to love this person. Some people say, look, I want the best negotiator. Who is it? That one right there. If without a niche, we're just not known, right? Like I became known initially as a championship coach because I won a championship at a place that had never won one. So you can imagine the amount of press and publicity I got. So what that did is it drove up my status in my market because I was in the newspaper all the time and I was getting interviewed all the time, right? People want to know, what are you doing? Then I began to write books about it. The only reason I write the books is to drive up status. The only reason I do the podcast is to drive up status. The videos to drive up status. It's all just bait. Everybody with me? Okay? Well, where I don't have any bait, I can't pull you in. The bait is I need a reason for you to come to me. I need it over everybody else, right? So I create all of this stuff to pull people toward me. So when I look at agents, this is what I see top agents have. And mainly what I want you thinking about is, where am I deficient? If you say you're deficient in likability, see me on the break. We'll talk about that one, okay? Now, you're looking at this, and I want you to think, when I see big-time people that are people of interest, right? People of interest attract people to them. They're dynamic. And you know why they're dynamic? Because they have ingredients. So when I'm evaluating you, I'm looking at you through this lens, and I'm going, okay, does she have knowledge? That means she really knows real estate. Does she have skill? That means she can articulate her knowledge set very well. Explain her services, open, close, follow up. Those are skills, right? Overcome objection, that's a skill. Does she have desire, which is really the willingness to do inconvenient things? They're willing to do what other people are not willing to do. Okay, let's come back to that one. Does she have effort? Is she doing her calls? Does she have her high value activity? Does she work in her hit list? Is she working her farm club? Right? Is she going more than 2 touches? Because sometimes, what good is it to have skill with no effort? Right? What good is it to have effort with no skill? Then I say, do they have this? This is what you're selling a lot. You're selling confidence. The reason you're coming to me is because I know what I'm doing, right? This is big. How many agents get a bad rap for not being likable? Here's what I typically see. A lot of times, they're likable on the way up, and then they become really big, they're not likable anymore. You You ever see that? They get real famous and then they're not very likable. Likability is energy. It means, man, I love doing business with you because you are so good. You put out such a good energy. Okay? And then connectivity, which means you can connect to people. I say, can you connect to a person wearing a $5,000 suit or a farmer, right, wearing overalls? That's connectivity. Okay? Deep networks is something that I can call on people. I have access to lots of people. I can open lots of doors. You follow me here? And that's very valuable. Yes or no? Yes. Because it's a free prize. It's like my agent can do all this other stuff and introduce me to all kinds of other people, which is very valuable. Never underestimate that. Plus, they can just get stuff done. Okay? This is one of the most interesting. All of these are in the book, Person of Interest. This is one of the most interesting thing is an intangible that I get with you I can't get with anybody else. An intangible is something I can't measure, but I can feel it. Like I really trust you. Okay? Or I really like you. Or you have a knowledge set. You're like a freak of nature when it comes to knowing things. Now, there's something about you that is uncommon with all the other real estate agents. That's called a free prize. Everybody follow me. It's like Cracker Jacks. Free prize. Baseball cards. Free prize. Everybody follow me? Well, sometimes you're selling this. All things balance. All the top agents in Nashville have a lot of this, don't they? So you got to figure out, this is the one thing that separates me from everybody else. This is it right here. This one little piece, this one little thing. So when you get me, you get all of that plus this. Okay? And if you don't have that, it's like being a sports team where the talent is equal. But they got, or maybe they got bigger, faster, stronger players than you, and you can't figure out where to win. You win on an intangible. Okay? Like your work ethic, your engine, your desire, your networks, your articulation. And so just ask yourself, where are you a little deficient? If I was going to work on myself, right, where do I need help? Well, I don't really have a free prize right now. Well, my networks are too thin. People that sell a bunch of stuff have deep networks, yes or no? Yes. Okay? So you may say there's two places I'm here. This is one of the number one things most agents tell me they're lacking. Right? What takes years to build up can take seconds to tear down when it comes to your confidence. So a lot of what I do is keep you in a forward posture, to keep you constantly in a good framework, good mindset, keep you moving in an upright. Like I won't let your swag be down too long. Because I'm going to say, look, for you to sell anything, you got to have lots of confidence. I'm going to help protect your confidence. So when you have a bad day, when you don't, right, there's a video you can watch of me. There's all kinds of things that say, hey, I want to keep you in a movement that's moving forward. Okay? And that's really a person of interest. Now, isn't it true that most top agents have that? Yes or no? Yes. So that's the prism that we're working from. If I could give you all of these this year, would it be valuable to you? Yes or no? Yes. Would you get more leads? Yes or no? Yes. If I could give you a selling system that would help you grow 43% this year, would it be valuable to you? Yes or no? Yes. Good. So that's what we're going to be doing over the next year. Isn't that good? Yes. Okay. I do believe, let me close with this, and Christy's going to say a few words. I do believe people that have a coach earn 3 and 4 times the amount of money than ones that don't. I can back it up with statistics. I can show you how every major real estate player in Nashville has a coach. You with me? And it's somebody that has some kind of special skill set that is helping them. We cannot see the picture when we're inside the frame. So the reason I have people coaching me is because I can't see. I'm too close to myself. I'm too biased. I need another person looking at my business going, hey, there's 3 things you're not doing that you should be doing. And I'm like, really? I couldn't even see that. Well, we can't see it. So I do believe everybody needs a good coach in life. So what we're trying to do this year is provide that coaching with you and come out here and every month after month after month is engage you in a set of systematic behaviors that's going to give you the structure you need to grow your business. Okay? Does that sound like a good plan?
Yes, sir.
All right. Listen, thank you for today. I've had a lot of fun. Okay? I hope you have. I did. And thank you for being coachable. Okay? Because that's where all progress starts by what? Telling the truth and being humble and hungry and coachable. So Christy, come on up and finish this up. And you thank Christy Wilson, too, for putting this together.
Yes,